Have you ever felt invisible to the women you desire? Like no matter what you say or do, it's like you're just another face in the crowd. Have you ever seen that one guy, maybe at a party, maybe at the gym, or maybe even in your own group of friends, who doesn't even seem to try, and yet women naturally gravitate toward him? They laugh at his jokes, lean in when he talks, and chase after his attention like it's the most valuable thing in the room. And you sit there wondering, what does he have that I don't? Well, I want you to stop whatever else you're doing right now, because what I'm about to share could change everything for you. Not just how women see you, but how you see yourself. You see, there's something almost no one talks about, something that can flip the switch in your favor, and no, it's not about having movie star looks, tons of money, or fancy cars. In fact, most guys who have those things still fail to make women truly chase them. What I'm going to reveal today goes deeper. It's about unlocking something inside you that makes you magnetic without even trying. I remember when I first discovered this. Let me take you back to a time when I was the guy who tried everything to get attention, buying drinks, complimenting too much, pretending to be someone I wasn't. And you know what it got me? Frustration. Rejection. That hollow feeling of, why isn't this working? I would watch as women would smile at other guys, lean closer to them, play with their hair, touch their arm, and give them all the signals of interest while I sat on the sidelines. I thought I needed to learn clever lines or secret tricks, but I was wrong, and once I realized the truth, everything changed. So, let me ask you this. What if you could walk into any room and women would feel compelled to notice you? What if you could stop chasing and instead let them do the chasing? What would that feel like? Freedom. Power, confidence. I'm here to tell you, it's not only possible, it's simpler than you think. Let's break this down. First, let's talk about the problem. Why is it that so many men struggle to get women to chase them? Why do most men feel like they're always the ones pursuing, always the ones working for attention, always the ones trying to prove themselves? It's because from an early age, we've been taught a script that doesn't work. We're told, be nice, buy her things, put her on a pedestal, show her how much you care, and she'll like you. But the reality, when you make a woman the center of your universe, when your happiness depends on her approval, you give away all your power. You stop being a challenge, you stop being a mystery, and you stop being the kind of man she's wired to desire. Women aren't drawn to the guy who worships them from day one. They're drawn to the man who is already fulfilled, already confident, already living a life that excites him with or without her. Think about it. When a man is truly on his path, when he's focused on his goals, his purpose, his passion, he radiates an energy that is irresistible because he's not trying to impress, he's not chasing, he's simply being, and that energy, that's what women chase. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, okay, that sounds good in theory, but how do I become that guy? And that's the heart of what I want to share today. Because this isn't about pretending. It's not about faking confidence or putting on a mask. It's about real, lasting transformation, the kind that changes how you see yourself and in turn how the world sees you. When I started this journey, I was filled with self-doubt. I thought, I'm not tall enough, I'm not rich enough, I'm not good looking enough. I thought I needed to become someone else to succeed. But then I learned the truth from mentors, from experience, and yes, from my own failures. I learned that the key wasn't to add things, lines, tricks, flashy moves. The key was to remove the neediness, to strip away the parts of me that were seeking validation, to stop trying to get women to like me, and start focusing on liking myself. Let me share a moment that changed me forever. I was at this rooftop bar, watching as the same patterns played out. Guys buying drinks, leaning in too close, trying too hard. I decided to do something different. I leaned back. I smiled, I talked to my friend and focused on having a good time, and you know what happened. A woman came over. She started the conversation. She asked the questions. She chased. Why? Because for the first time, I wasn't trying to get anything. I wasn't focused on the outcome. I was focused on enjoying the moment, being present, and radiating confidence. And that's what I want for you, because here's the truth. When you stop chasing, they start. When you stop seeking approval, they give it. When you stop needing, they start wanting. The paradox of attraction is that the less you need her, the more she feels drawn to you. So how do you get to that place? Let me break it down into something practical, something you can apply today. First, build a life that excites you. Find your passion. I don't care what it is: music, fitness, business, art, sports, travel. When you pour your energy into something that lights you up, you naturally become more attractive, because passion is magnetic. Purpose is magnetic. A man on a mission doesn't have to chase women, they notice him. Second, master your energy. Women are incredibly tuned in to how you make them feel, and they can sense neediness a mile away. When your energy says, "I'm good, I'm fulfilled, I like myself, I don't need anything from you, but I'd enjoy sharing time with you," that's when the magic happens. That's when she starts to lean in. That's when she starts to wonder about you, think about you, and yes, chase you. Third, practice detachment. Now, I don't mean be cold or indifferent. I mean let go of needing a specific outcome. Enjoy the interaction for what it is. If she responds, great. If she doesn't, no problem, you're still good. When you can genuinely adopt that mindset, you become the rarest man in the room, because most guys are outcome obsessed. Be the one who's experience obsessed, focused on the joy of the moment, not what you might get out of it. Let's pause for a moment and really think about this. Imagine you walk into a room. You're not worried about impressing anyone. You're not scanning for approval. You're not trying to be liked. You're simply enjoying yourself, laughing, connecting, living. That's when people, not just women, but everyone, start to feel drawn to you. Because your energy lifts the room, and that's the man women chase. The man who's whole on his own. The man who invites her into his world but doesn't revolve around hers. And I know, I've seen it, I've lived it, this works. Because I went from the guy who chased to the guy who was chased, and it didn't happen because I learned magic tricks or pickup lines. It happened because I shifted my focus inward. I worked on my mindset, I worked on my confidence, I worked on building a life I was proud of. And once I did that, everything else fell into place. So my message to you today is simple. Stop looking for external tricks. Start building internal strength. That's what makes you magnetic. That's what flips the script. That's what makes women chase you. And the best part, this isn't about manipulating anyone. It's about becoming the best version of yourself for you. And, as a natural result, the right people, the right women, will want to be part of that journey. So let's go even deeper. Let's break down what you can actually do to become that man, the one women chase. Because I know you're not here for vague ideas. You want something real, something you can act on starting today. And I respect that, so here's the truth. Everything starts with how you see yourself. Let me ask you this. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see a man who's worthy of being chased? Or do you see someone waiting for permission, for approval, for validation? Be honest, because the way you see yourself is the way the world will reflect back to you. And if you see yourself as second best, that's how others will treat you. But if you see yourself as valuable, as desirable, as a man who has something to offer, the energy you give off will change, and so will the way women respond to you. When I began to change this in myself, I started with my internal dialogue. I realized I had been feeding myself stories that weren't serving me. Stories like, I'm not good enough, I'm not what women want, I have to prove myself. And every time I thought those thoughts, I gave them power, so I flipped the script. Every day I'd remind myself, I am enough, I don't need to chase, I am the prize. At first, it felt strange, like I was lying to myself. But the more I said it, the more I believed it. And the more I believed it, the more it became my reality. That's the first step I want you to take. Start controlling your story. What you tell yourself shapes everything. Next, your body language. Before you say a single word, you're communicating volumes. And women, they pick up on these signals without even realizing it. So how do you carry yourself? Are your shoulders back? Are you standing tall? Are you taking up space? Or are you shrinking down, trying to be invisible? A man who is chaste doesn't hide. He owns his space, he moves with purpose. He's comfortable in his skin, so check yourself right now even as you're listening to this. How's your posture? How's your presence? Start practicing standing like the man you want to be, because confidence is felt before it's heard. Then, there's the way you speak. You don't have to be the loudest guy in the room. In fact, the loudest guy is often the most insecure. Instead, focus on slowing down. When you speak with calm, measured words, you signal confidence. You signal that you're not in a rush to impress. You're comfortable letting others come to you, and that's powerful, that's attractive. That's the kind of energy that draws people in. I want to tell you a quick story. There was a time when I'd walk into social settings and feel this pressure, this need to entertain, to fill every silence, to be the most interesting man in the room. And it was exhausting. Worse, it didn't work. People can sense when you're trying too hard. One night I decided to stop. I decided to just be, to listen more, to speak when I had something real to say. And the difference was incredible. People leaned in. They wanted to know what I was thinking. Because I wasn't chasing attention, I was simply grounded. And that's what people are drawn to. Now let's talk about emotional control, because this, my friend, is where the real power lies. A man who is chaste is a man who can handle himself. He's not thrown off by rejection. He's not shaken by a woman's tests. He doesn't lose his center when things don't go his way. Instead, he stays steady. He stays calm. He stays in control. And that's rare. Most guys get flustered. They react. They get needy or defensive. But when you can keep your cool, no matter what, you stand out. You become the rock in the storm. And that's what makes a woman feel safe, curious, and yes, eager to chase you. You see, women will test you. Not because they're cruel, but because on some level, they want to know if you're the real deal. Are you truly confident, or is it an act? Do you really believe in yourself, or will you crumble under pressure? When you pass those tests, when you stay unshaken, that's when the game changes. That's when she starts to see you differently. That's when she starts to pursue. Let's get practical again. How do you build this emotional control? You start by welcoming challenge. Instead of avoiding discomfort, lean into it. Put yourself in situations that stretch you. Speak up in a meeting. Approach that woman at the cafe. Try that thing you've been scared to try. Every time you do, you build resilience. And the more resilient you are, the less anything can shake you. And that inner strength, that's what makes you magnetic. And here's a truth I want you to write down, remember, and live by. The man who needs nothing attracts everything. When you become the man who's whole, the man who's fulfilled, the man who's at peace with or without her, that's when she starts chasing you. That's when you flip the script, because women aren't looking for a man who needs them to feel okay. They're looking for a man who's already okay and who invites them to join him on his journey. Now, I want to give you a final mindset shift that changed everything for me. Stop seeing women as goals to achieve. Start seeing them as people to connect with. When you approach a woman with the energy of "I hope she likes me," you put her above you. But when you approach with the energy of "let's see if we connect," you level the playing field. You stop chasing. You start choosing, and that's powerful, because now you're no longer the seeker, you're the selector. You're not trying to win her over, you're discovering if she's right for you, and that change in mindset, it does something incredible. It takes all the pressure off. It allows you to be yourself. It allows you to enjoy the process. And it naturally makes you more attractive because now you're not performing. You're not putting on a show. You're simply living, and that's the man who gets chased. So let me ask you, who are you going to be from this moment forward? Are you going to keep chasing, keep proving, keep trying to win approval? Or are you going to become the man who doesn't need to chase because he knows his worth, builds his life, and lets the right women come to him? Because I promise you this, when you make that shift, when you truly live it, everything changes. You'll walk into a room and women will notice. They'll feel your energy. They'll sense your confidence. They'll want to know you, and for the first time, you won't have to chase. You'll be the one they chase. And here's the best part, this isn't about tricks. It's not about manipulation. It's about authenticity. It's about stepping into your true power, and that's something no one can take from you. That's something that lasts. So now that you understand the mindset, the presence, and the habits of the man who gets chased, let's talk about your life. Because here's a hard truth that most guys don't want to hear. If you're not building a life that excites you, that fulfills you, that challenges you, no amount of tricks, no amount of pickup lines, no amount of outer game will make women chase you. Why? Because women aren't just attracted to a man. They're attracted to what that man represents. His passion, his purpose, his path, his vision. If you're living small, hiding from your potential, and waiting for someone else to complete you, that energy is felt, and it pushes people away. But when you're out there, doing the things that light you up, taking risks, growing, striving, creating, that's when you become magnetic. That's when women don't just want to be with you, they want to be part of your world. And let me share another story. There was a phase in my life where I was so focused on women that I lost myself. Every night out was about getting numbers, impressing, proving myself. And yeah, sometimes it worked, but it felt empty, because I wasn't doing it for me. I wasn't living for me. I was chasing validation. I was looking outward for something I needed to find inside, and the women I attracted, they weren't really interested in me. They were interested in the mask I was wearing, and masks always slip. So I hit a breaking point. I asked myself, what would my life look like if I stopped chasing and started building? What if, instead of looking for someone to complete me, I focused on completing myself? And that question changed everything. I went all in on my passions. I wrote, I traveled, I trained, I created. I stopped going out just to meet women. I started going out because I wanted to enjoy life, and something wild happened. Women started noticing me in ways they hadn't before. Not because I was trying to impress them, but because I was finally impressing myself, and that's what I want for you. I want you to wake up excited about your day because of the mission you're on. I want you to be so focused on becoming the best version of yourself that you don't even notice who's chasing you. Because the right people will chase you when you're chasing your dreams. So let me ask you, what's your mission? What lights you up? What's that thing you've been putting off, waiting for the right time, because the right time is now? And when you commit to it, when you pour your energy into becoming, creating, building, everything else falls into place. The women, the opportunities, the connections, they all come to you. Because your vibe, your energy, your presence, it all changes. And here's the final piece. When you become this man, the man who's chased, you don't just stop chasing women. You stop chasing anything that's not aligned with your purpose. You stop chasing approval. You stop chasing status. You stop chasing things that don't matter because you realize you are enough. You have everything you need inside you. And that's when true freedom begins. That's when you stop living for others and start living for yourself. And that, my friend, is when life gets good. Let me leave you with this challenge. After you finish listening to this, take out a piece of paper and write down 3 things. 1. What am I passionate about that I've been neglecting? 2. What habits can I build that will make me proud of who I am? 3. What's one small step I can take today to move toward that life? And then do it. Don't wait. Don't overthink. Don't look for permission. Take the step. Build the habit. Live the mission. Because the man who does that, the man who focuses on his growth, his purpose, his joy, is the man who doesn't have to chase. He's the man who is chased. And if you remember nothing else from this entire talk, remember this. The secret isn't in getting women to chase you. The secret is in becoming the man who naturally inspires that desire. The man who's so complete in himself, so passionate about his life, so grounded in his worth that women can't help but be drawn in. And when you become that man, you won't need to play games, run scripts, or use tricks. You'll simply live. And they'll follow. So today, I'm asking you to choose. Are you going to keep chasing things that don't fill you? Or are you going to build a life that does? Are you going to wait for approval? Or are you going to approve of yourself first? The power is in your hands. The decision is yours. And I promise you, when you take that first step toward becoming the man you're meant to be, you'll never have to chase again. Because the right women, the right people, the right opportunities, they'll come running. Not because you needed them, but because you became the man who didn't. Thank you for listening. Now go, build, become, and let them chase you.